Hey there, this is James. I'm here to talk to you today about... Oh, hang on. Forgot to activate my avatar. Oh, there we go. That's better. Okay, where were we? I was going to tell you about the purpose of today's demonstration. We're going to take a look at the ritual of coffee making. So, come and check this out. So we're not going to be talking about instant coffee. We're not interested in that. We're not going to be talking about plunger coffee. Not interested in that either. Then there's stovetop coffee. No, not interested, because I'm about as interested in that as I am in Sunday morning coffee pot coffee. No, take a look at this, because this is the real thing. We're talking high quality consumer level espresso machine coffee, short black espresso, well made and made with love. So we've got some hardware, we've got an espresso handle and a packing dish, we've got some ground coffee here, some coffee beans in a tin, good coffee beans, although we're not going to use these in the actual film. Instead, we're going to use David Lynch's personal brand of coffee beans that you can purchase quite easily from davidlynch.com. So, we've got the beans, we've also got ourselves a bean grinder, this will be used shortly. We've got ourselves a jar of raw sugar to have with the cup, and that's about it for now. Now, I just need 2 seconds to think of what to say next. Okay, I've thought of something. What we're going to do now is use all these elements to make ourselves a hell of a decent cup of coffee. So let's start by grinding up some of these things. Now, I love doing this, but it's a noisy little thing, unfortunately, which we're about to find out. Oh, just while he's doing that, I need to go over something else with you. When we're actually making the movie, just over here, this is one of the spaces you'll be using. You'll have full access to that part of the room, but anything behind me here, where I'm standing, you won't need. So that'll be your domain. That's all I need to say. So the thing about this character, if you don't know already, is that he loves making coffee. It's symptomatic of other issues in his life, of course. He pays particular... that's good. He pays particular attention to the details of the ritual. He delights in the process. But it raises the question, if he's spending this much meticulous energy on something like this, what is he not doing? What area of his life is he neglecting? It's important for me to show you the process here, not just to get a look at the character, but to get a look at these implements so that you have some familiarity before the actual shoot. So now that the actual coffee's been ground, let's fire up the machine. Next, what we're going to need is some fresh filtered water. Check it out. We pour a certain amount into the back of the unit, like so. Next, we get our little water catching dish and get ready to clean the machine before we make the cup. Now, this goes here. And then we press the little hot water button so that we can run some hot water through the actual machine. There we go. Now I'm catching it in this dish because I like seeing evidence of the old coffee washed through before we make a fresh cup. If you take a look, you'll see how the water isn't clear. This way, any coffee residue from the last cup has now come off. But just to make sure, I like to take some paper towel, fold it up, and use it to wipe the filament clean. You can actually fold it up 3 times if you really want to. And then we just give it a good wipe and get as much of that old stuff off as we possibly can. Yeah. See, there it is. And we can take our water dish away now, but this is actually going to come in handy a little bit later on, which you'll see. Now, because the character is meticulous about things, he'd be likely to wipe the unit clean of water residue before proceeding. Next, we take our special little short black coffee cup, place it on top of the unit so that it can start to warm up a bit. We clip the packing dish into the espresso handle, and then we get some of this highly aromatic ground coffee. Check it out. And we can start to pack it into the handle. But don't waste any. That little bit there, that's about 1/10 of a short black that you'll never have if you spill that on the bench and wipe it away later. Completely unacceptable in this kitchen. Did you know that they call a kitchen shirket in Sweden? God, I'm really starting to pad out this commentary. Okay, so we're finally going to make this cup. What we're going to do now is slot the handle in, lock it against the filament, and run the water through immediately so as not to burn the actual coffee grains. Wait for it. Here it comes. And that ought to do it. So now we have ourselves a nice looking short black, also known as Il Doppio in some corners of this world. Now it wouldn't be complete without a nice dose of sugar, but please don't judge me on the amount that I used here. I was kind of tired that day. So we dunk a spoonful in and leave it for a minute to melt before stirring it through. Yeah, I'm serious. But when it's time, we take a spoon and then we turn it upside down. Nutty enough for you yet? I don't know, it's just something about the spoon end of a spoon stirring a cup this small that somehow seems violent, wrong, and inappropriate. This is much more civilized. Now you've got to resist the urge to lick it, so we're going to give it a rinse instead. And we do this because we've now reached the most important measure of a good cup of coffee, the analysis of crema. The way you can tell a truly great cup of coffee is if you dunk a spoon into the natural coffee bean crema that sits on top. Pull it out and study it for movement. So let's take a look. It goes in, it comes out, no movement on the spoon. This you can lick. And now we know that this is going to be a damn good cup of coffee. Oh, and this is why I kept the water dish before. The spoon goes in there. It just does. Okay, so it's showtime. Without any further ado, let's check out this cup of coffee. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's really good. Might just have to. What's that sound?